Movie buffs, welcome back to the Movie Bay. This is D. In today's video, we're going to take a look at some movies with some really cool car chase scenes. Without further ado, let's dive in and take a look at 10 movies, really 12, but we're going to call the video 10. 10 movies with good car chase scenes, some better than others, some longer than others. But out of my collection, these are the movies that I deem with the best car chase scenes. There's a couple of movies that I'm missing that got really great car chase scenes, but this is what we got. Start with number 12, 1999's The Corruptor. Now, The Corruptor, the car chase scene in The Corruptor isn't terribly long, but it is a good car chase scene. There's one part in particular that made me want to pull this movie was when they had the guy in the burgundy Cadillac cornered. He pulled out an Uzi and just started mowing down pedestrians. Pedestrians, innocent drivers, just to get away. He killed a lot of people just to get away. And to me, that's what made this car chase scene so intense. The way he just mercilessly gunned down all those people. It's a really good car chase scene. Again, it's not the greatest car chase scene. It's not the longest, but it's a really tight and it's got a very intense moment. The Corruptor with Mark Wahlberg and Chow Yun-fat. Fantastic. Overall, the movie is a banger, but that scene is really good. It's not the longest, so if you're looking for a really long, lengthy car chase scene, this isn't it. But it is a good car chase scene. Next up, we have 1986's Sylvester Stallone and Cobra. Marion Cobretti. This is a good movie. Overall, it's a solid movie. It fits Sylvester Stallone to a T, and there is a couple of good car chase scenes, but there's one in particular I do believe is a car chase scene when they're right before they head to the safe house, and it's a really good car chase scene. Again, not a long car chase scene, but it's long enough. Next up, I'm going to give a nod to an entire series, and I'm going to count this as one, but it's an entire series, and the series run from 2002 to 2015, and it's multiple car chase scenes in each movie, so you can find some really good car chase scenes in all four of these. What we're talking about is the Corruptor series. The Transporter series. We got the first Transporter, we got the Transporter 2, the Transporter 3, and the Transporter Refuel without Jason Statham. It was okay. But again, I'm going to give the nod to this whole series because I do believe there's some enjoyment with car chase scenes throughout this series. The whole movie is based upon driving. So you're going to find some great chase scenes in these movies, all four. So next up, we got 1981's The Road Warrior, which is the follow-up to Mad Max, the original Mad Max. This is the follow-up, The Road Warrior. It's got one hell of a car chase scene in this one. I'm trying to tell you, shooting in everything. I mean, the one particular chase scene is so intense. It's a crazy scene. It's a good scene. It's a little bit lengthy. Not terribly long, but it's a little bit more lengthy than what we saw so far. The Road Warrior, really cool car chase scene in this one. Next up, now, I think this chase scene is better than the original chase scene. I've seen the original Italian Job. I don't have it, but I've seen it. And I think the remake got a better chase scene. The Italian Job, where they was running with the little minis from the motorcycles, that was a hell of a chase scene right there. And it was nice and it was lengthy. Overall, really solid, fun chase scene. It was a really fun chase scene to watch. I really enjoyed the way he was getting down with those minis. I'm telling you, it was banging. Just like the original, but I like this one because the pacing was a little bit faster in this one. Now, overall, I think I like the original movie better, but as far as the chase scene, I think I like the chase scene in the new one a little bit more. And that was 2003's The Italian Job. Next up, we have 2003's The Matrix Reloaded. That chase scene on the highway when they was in that Cadillac CTS, banging. Then when Trinity hopped on that motorcycle, I'm trying to tell you, the chase scene, that was a tight chase scene. Did you guys know, fun fact, that highway, that expressway that they was on, that was made just for the movie. That wasn't a real highway. That was made just for the movie. I'm trying to tell you, they did a great job at building that set. That set piece was built just for that movie. Banging. This is a car chase scene that don't come up enough when you talk about great car chase scenes. And it's a real good one. Next up is another car chase scene that don't come up when you talk about car chase scenes. Spoiler alert, For this video, the top three are the top three on this list is the ones that come up the most. But here's another one that don't come up a lot. And this, the car chase scene in this one is actually a couple of car chase scenes in here that's crazy. And we're talking about 1980s, the Blues Brothers. I mean, the joint at the mall was crazy. The one at the very end. There's a couple of good car chase scenes in this movie. And, of course, we have 2017's Baby Driver. It's a couple of good, it's some good ones in this one. I mean, especially as soon as the movie opened, you open up to like a 6-minute car chase scene. Banging. Next up, we got Bad Boys 1 and 2, but we're really focusing on Bad Boys 2. That chase scene was over 9 minutes, almost 10 minutes long. But to be fair, the actual chase was probably, you can shave off maybe 2-3 minutes for the shootout that they had. So when, guys, when the chase scene first started, they stopped for a little bit to engage in the shootout. Then the chase scene started back up again. So all in all, when the chase scene started to it ended, was about 9 minutes. So maybe actual chase, probably about 7 minutes. But a banging ass chase scene. And nobody really brings up Bad Boys 2, the chase scene in Bad Boys 2. Bad Boys 1 got a good chase scene too at the end. That was a really good chase scene, but Bad Boys 2, that was a really good car chase scene, especially when Will whipped that Ferrari around and started busting out the window. Banging. All right, next up, now we're going into the top three. So that was 2003's Bad Boys 2. Bad Boys 1 to get an honorable mention because it had a pretty decent chase scene too. Next up, we're going to move up to 1998's Ronin. This is, some people call this the very best chase scene. Again, it's in my top three. It's good. I have it in high regard. It's 3. I think it's a really good chase scene, but I still think the next 2 is a little bit better than this one, in my humble opinion. Next up, we have 1971's, you already know, The French Connection. Man, what a chase scene. Very, very good chase scene. I enjoyed it. Some folks will call this the best chase scene put to film. And I am going to argue that. I was getting ready to say I'm not going to argue that, but I am going to argue that. And I'm going to push back on that one. Because I'm going to give the number 1 chase scene. And it may not be the most action-packed chase scene. I'm going to give it the most important chase scene because it was the first chase scene of its kind. This paved the way for automotive chase scenes. And that's 1968's Bullet. There's the chase scenes in a lot of these movies is actually better than this, but this was the first one to do it the way everybody else started doing it. Bullet is like I always said before, Bullet may not be the best car chase scene put to film, but it's the most important. Sometimes, you may not be the best, the biggest, the baddest, and the flashiest, but you just might be the most important person in the room. This is the most important chase scene put to film. And it's a good scene, too. So, guys, that's 12. We'll call it 10. 10 great movies with good car chase scenes. There's plenty more out there. I don't have them all. I would like to get them all. But out of what I have, I think these are some of the best car chase scenes put to film. Let me know in the comments what you think. Was I spot on with how I got them in the order? Or would you disagree? But I actually think that Steve McQueen's Bullet is the most important. So the most important car chase scene put to film. Again, it may not be the best. I think now, my personal opinion, the best car chase scene here that I took the most, and now the one that I took the most enjoyment with, like having a good time with, is going to be the mall chase in the Blues Brothers. That, to me, that was just pure fun, and including the one then. I think the Blues Brothers got the funnest car chase scenes. The amount of cars that was wrecked and the amount of cars that was destroyed. Oh, man. Now, that was the most fun. Which one do I think is the most technical car chase scene? Well, again, I'm going to give it to Bullet. Now, it's not technical by today's standard, but when they first did this, it was a very technical piece of work to pull off. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.